Hey guys, Zelonius here. Welcome to another video on the channel. I'm excited for this one. In this video today, I'm going to be sharing potentially the most broken OP custom tactics I've had all year. It's going to be using quite a different formation, a formation that I never thought I would really see the light of day with on FIFA. It is the 3-4-2-1. So in this video, I'm going to break down the team that I used for it. I'm going to break down the custom tactics, player instructions, what makes it so good. I will do another video in a couple of days where I gloss over the tactics but spend quite a lot of time going over highlights to show the tactic more in depth in terms of how you use it in game. But this one's going to be dedicated to the actual tactics and instructions. Now, anyone who's been watching my channel over the last few months, I kept the same team quite a lot. I haven't been playing that much FIFA, probably since early mid-January. Had quite a bad throat infection, so I was having to manage that. I wasn't able to talk as much. It's still quite sore and still hurts, so I'm still having to be careful. But I was able to stream properly for the first time in about a month or two yesterday, and we did a full weekend league. But before that, since probably mid to late January, I've mostly been doing. I've not really played the game at all, except for like when there's a new patch, I'd play for a day or two off stream just to learn it, so I could help you guys out of it. And then if I was trying a new tactic out, play a few games with that. So this was my first proper weekend league, I would say, in about 3 months, and I hit 20-0. That obviously says a little bit about FIFA and the skill gap on it, that someone could not really play it properly for months and just come back and do that. Not trying to sound cocky, but there also is the perspective that I'm a former pro player. I'm obviously very good at the game, so I'm always going to be decent at it. And I honestly don't even think that this team's that great. It's a good team, but if I base it on the tier list that I do, I would say the only S tier player on here is probably Kaka. And that's debatable. Kaka's either high A or low S. Rooney and Keane were very good as well. I really like this Ozil card. This Ozil's passing the best I've seen all year, by the way. Just outrageous, some of the passes. I was playing him at like left striker, and he was still pretty quick, even with only 85 pace. I had a 100 on him, of course. Really like that card, though. But yeah, the team is good, but definitely not like anything special at this point of the game. But the formation was amazing, and I'm excited to share more in depth about it. Before we go into the actual tactic, I'll just talk a bit about this Ozil. Those are his stats. Obviously, you have to bear in mind quite a few of those games of people quitting in the first half. I had two people quit 1-0 to just give me they gave me a free win. So his stats pretty damn good. With a Hunter, 93 pace, clinical. He's not got great shot power, but in the box, he's got a good enough shot. It's going to go in pretty consistently. 99 vision, and my word, you could tell. 99 ball control. His touch did feel a bit different, just class. He felt brilliant on the ball, actually quite strong. Like, this is a very good card. If you can fit him in your team, he's brilliant and insane value. He's just not easy to fit in your team. But Ozil's one of my favourite players in my time of watching football, so I really wanted to make sure I got him in my team. Lots of traits as well. Got to be one of the players with the most traits now. I don't think I'd seen set play specialist before, but yeah, class card. And then this Kaka, just a shout out to him. 99 pace with a Hunter, brilliant on the ball, strong, great everything, 5-5, one of the best players I've used all year. Okay, let's get into the custom tactics. That Keane as well, brilliant, absolutely loved him. So we've got the ultra defensive and the ultra attacking. They stayed the same. I didn't switch to either of them all weekend. I honestly think I was only losing once, maybe twice. There was definitely one game I was 2 goals behind at one point. But in terms of the rest of the 20 games, I only think I went behind one other game, and I'm not even sure about that. I didn't have to go to my ultra attacking because of that. I didn't use the press after possession was too much. I did in the game that I went 2-0 down. The ultra defensive, I always felt very comfortable. There wasn't a game that I didn't win by more than 1 goal of them once. I won one game by 1 goal. Every other game I won by a lot of goals or made them quit. It was very comfortable, so I was mainly using the defensive one here. It isn't defensive at all, but that's just what the game plan's called. In terms of the formation, then, the strength, and it's a lot about how you set it up, but the strengths here, it plays quite like the 4-3-2-1 in the attack. By that, the 2-1 in this, the Ozil and Rooney and Kaka front three, They're just like the 2-1 in the 4-3-2-1. So one of the reasons the 2-1's so good, or three strikers basically, is that through balls are OP on this year's game. Pace is really good. So if you have three strikers effectively running through and you're spamming through balls to them, it's going to be very hard to defend. It overwhelms the opposition. So it's very good for that. It was even better going forward than the 4-3-2-1 because the left mid and right mid offered a lot of width, and that made even more space for the three strikers. The two centre mids, sure, it's not quite as good in the middle as having the three, but these were very good. But the key to it is that compared to a lot of three back formations on previous FIFAs, big issue you tended to have was that three back formations were just so open down the wing. But what happens when you set it up the way I set it up is that the left mid and right mid come back on defense really well, and by doing so, it turns into a five back when you're defending and out of possession. But then when you're in possession, it's really good going forward. Now, Davies and Lam are very good in specific areas. So by that I mean that they're very good defensively. Ideally, you want left mid and right mids who can attack but also defend. Not the easiest thing to find. Davies is pretty good going forward because he's very good on the ball. Obviously, he's absolutely rapid. And they don't shoot that often. There was a couple of times they got shooting positions, but for the most part, they're not really shooting. They're just box to box, offering width. Lam, insane defensively. Lam actually surprised me. I would never have thought of using the 92 Lam, but I packed him untradeable on Friday when the Trophy Titans promo came out. The 93 Lam, I can imagine, is only a very good upgrade. Bit 1 or 2 on every start, 4-star skills. This Lam, though, was very, very good, and I really enjoyed using him. You could see how good his defending was. A little bit limited going forward, the 3-star. But yeah, ideally, for the 3 strikers, 5 stars, skills or weak foot you want, pace, good on the ball, all the good attacking stats. The left mid, right mid, you want them to be fast, want them to be decent on the ball, want them to be able to pass, and good defending is definitely a big plus and will make this formation a lot better. Someone like the end of era or flashback, I think it's the end of era Bale would be perfect if you can fit him in. Keane and Goretzka, those two, very, very good. You want at least one centre mid who can go forward a bit more. That's Goretzka in this. And then the stay back midfielder, you want them to be a beast defensively, fast, and you still want them to be pretty good at passing. Roy Keane honestly played some insane passes for me. Having both midfielders who can play crazy through balls, it makes a big difference. And in a formation like this, where you've got 3 strikers, at any given second, if you've got the vision and the ability to spot it, and one thing I'll do in the video where I talk about how to use the formation properly is I'll show you some of the attacking patterns and runs that they make. If you have 2 midfielders who can pick those out because they've got high 90s passing, it's going to make a big difference. I had a lot of times where Keane would win the ball in my own half, take a touch, and then play a crazy through ball, and I'd be in on goal. It makes a big difference on this game because midfielders with the low 90s and higher stats can play these crazy passes that others can't. And once, like I say, I think it's a key thing on FIFA to helps people improve. When you get really good with a formation and know how to use it better, it's going to make a big difference because you're not going to know all the attacking patterns. Then for the defenders, you just want the standard stuff that you want on defenders. But it's really nice how it turns into a 5-pack. In terms of the tactics, very simple. I go 72 depth for the auto offside traps. The 40 width, I want it to be quite compact. When I'm defending, I'm going to have 5 defenders. So I want it to be very compact. No, not easy to split the centre-backs with through balls. Balanced direct passing. I don't want the width too crazy. I'm going to get a lot of natural width from my left mid and right mid. Players in box 6. In terms of the instructions, now these are important. You need to get these right. I do not remember putting Ozil on conservative inceptions. I must have accidentally done that at some point. But stay central, get in behind, stay forward on all the strikers. This at times will be very frustrating. And by that, I mean because at times they're going to try and run in behind even when they shouldn't. And it's stupid and dumb. But with how OP the through balls are in this formation, and like I say, the fact now that we've got midfielders who can play the crazy through balls all the time, getting behind means they're just going to constantly be a thorn in the defender's side. It's going to be very, very hard for them to stop the through balls, and you want these players making the runs. Stay central, I found, just kept them all running through the middle. The wingers, you need to get these right. Come back on defense, stay wide, get in behind on both of them. You could go get into the box, but I don't think it's needed. You have enough players in the box, and I think it hurts them defensively if they're on getting to the box, because if they're that far up, they're going to struggle to get back. You need these guys to have good stamina, good pace, to be able to get back, bomb up and down the wings, be able to offer width when you're on the ball, but also be able to get back and turn it into a 5-back defensively. For one centre mid, balanced, cover centre. The other, stay back, cover centre. Very simple. I need one of them stay back just to protect me on the counter attack. If you had both of them on balance and you got counter attack, you could end up just having 3 centre backs. So this centre mid doing that is very important. In terms of the other formation, it's the exact same. It is literally the exact same for the most part. The main difference is press after possession loss. This is just going to make you a lot more aggressive. I up the depth a little. I up the width slightly. I up the width in the attack and players in box by 1. It doesn't change a lot going forward at all. However, winning the ball back a lot quicker, being a lot more aggressive defensively, just makes it quite bad. And this formation is very good at pressing because it covers all the areas really well. The instructions, the exact same. There's nothing I would change for it. It feels fairly different though with the press. But yeah, this formation, crazy. Absolutely loved it. Honestly, you could argue it made the game fun again for me. It made me want to play a lot more with my team. And at times, I don't know about you guys, I get quite frustrated with this game. Don't really feel the motivation to turn it on and grind the game and play. But I enjoyed this team, enjoyed this formation a lot. It's crazy going forward. Honestly, it's probably the most balanced, crazy formation I've used this year. I appreciate you guys watching this video a lot. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully it's helped you out. Have a great day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.